on, guys? So yes, I finally have a Flash video for you. I know some of you thought I probably wouldn't have posted another Flash video until season 4, but I just haven't really seen any news that really caught my eye until recently. Because I was just like, you know, season 3 kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and I was just like, I don't feel like talking about The Flash right now, but now news is starting to come out. They just started filming the new season, so we're going to start getting some more exciting information. San Diego Comic-Con's right around the corner, and I think at San Diego Comic-Con they will officially say that the Thinker is the villain for season 4, or maybe they want to keep that a secret, but we can all pretty much guarantee that he is the villain for season 4. They dropped hints in season 3, and people have come out and said that there have been plot, or like, how do you say, like character descriptions for the main villain of season 4, and it just reads very much like the Thinker. So we can just assume that he is going to be the main villain. So that's not something I really wanted to talk about because we all kind of already knew that. But now that they are filming, we did get the first title of episode 1 for season 4, and that is Flash Reborn. And I believe this is not, it doesn't have to do anything with Rebirth. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh my god, Godspeed, Godspeed! No, it's not, no, there's not. They've already confirmed that there's not going to be a speedster villain in season 4. Thank you, because I'm tired of it for 3 seasons, and I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking it is going to be Godspeed, and I get that in the comments all the time, but no, it's not going to be Flash Rebirth from the new comics that introduced Godspeed. They're thinking about Flash Rebirth pre-New, was it New 52? I think it was pre-New 52, if I'm not mistaken. That was when Barry Allen came back from being stuck in the Speed Force when Wally West was actually the main Flash for a really long time. Barry Allen has come back, and that is the storyline they're going to be pulling some stuff from, but they didn't want people to get confused with the current Rebirth stuff, or I'm assuming they didn't want people to get confused. That's why they called it Flash Reborn. This is going to basically be the new Barry Allen that comes back, or not the new Barry Allen, but Barry Allen coming back from the Speed Force after what has been confirmed to be 6 months. So, from the end of Season 3 to the beginning of Season 4, 6 months would have passed in the timeline. So, Barry would have been in his personal hell for 6 months, and I think that is automatically going to change him. He's going to be very different from having to live through that, and it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but I think we have to assume that it's his mom's death that he has to constantly live through. That is his biggest hell, and I think maybe he's going to be okay with it when he comes out. Like, maybe he spent so much time there that he's okay with it, and he's not going to worry about changing the timeline every season like he always does. I'm really hoping Season 4 has nothing to do with fucking time travel, because I'm tired of it in Flash. Like, let's just stay in the present, let's just deal with that, and hopefully Barry, coming out of this hell that he's been in, he'll be okay with it. He's like learned to cope with it and all that jazz. But we'll see what happens. So yes, I do think that they are just going to pull certain elements from Flash Reborn. I personally haven't read that comic book, but I feel like they're just gonna like take the concept of the comic and not necessarily bring a lot of things from that actual comic book. They will have the part where, you know, Flash returns and Wally goes back to being Kid Flash and stuff like that. That more than likely is gonna happen, because that's gonna have to happen. But I don't think there's gonna be like a lot of that storyline personally. But I mean, I could be wrong. But like I said, I haven't read it. I've read like a synopsis for it, but I just don't see them doing a lot of it. I think they just want the title. Just like they did with Flashpoint back in Season 3. They used Flashpoint as like, oh my god, that's the title. But it had nothing to do with fucking Flashpoint. Like, really, like it was so far from Flashpoint that they just wanted to use the title. And I think they got a lot of shit for it, probably. I mean, I gave them a lot of shit for it. I mean, and I know a lot of the internet was like, this isn't even fucking Flashpoint. So I think they're just like, let's stay away from that. A lot of people didn't really like our Season 3. They might be doing the Arrow treatment where they're just like, oh, let's get away from that. Let's do something better. So maybe they want to change the titles a little bit so it's not so on the nose with other titles, you know what I mean? And probably the reason why they want to get away from Rebirth, with Rebirth being so well in the DC comic books right now, they probably just don't want to confuse things. So 6 months later, we know is going to be the timeline. That means, you know, freaking Wally is going to have probably progressed a lot in being a superhero. And from Iris herself, she has said that Iris is going to take on a new role in Season 4. She's a little bit more hardened because she's been without the love of her life. You know, she's had to deal with Barry being gone, and she's like a little bit harder, I guess. Like, you know how people get when something tragic happens. They try to be more tough and try not to let those emotions out or whatever. That's going to be Iris in Season 4, and apparently she's taking on a bigger role as the leader of Team Flash. Now, this is really interesting because it could be really good or it could be really bad in my eyes. And, you know, we do know that from the Flashpoint storyline, you know, Iris and Wally were a team together. She was the one, she was basically the Team Flash in that storyline. But now we kind of get a version of that where it's Iris leading Team Flash and she has a bunch of people around her, and then Wally being the actual Flash. So this is pretty awesome. But what worries me about this is I feel like we're automatically gonna have a conflict, and I can almost put like 100% on this, that we're gonna have the stupid conflict of Barry coming back. Iris is going to like love him, like, oh my god, you're back, I love you, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's gonna be good, but she's not gonna let go of the leader role when he comes back. I feel like that is going to be a big problem, and I think it's gonna suck, and I really, really hope it doesn't become like Oliver and Laurel or Oliver and Felicity, because that's the shit I hated the most in Arrow, was when they have these like spats where it's all like, you were gone, we're making decisions, we're a team, blah, 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 blah. Like, I really hate that, and I feel like that's gonna happen 100%. Like, Barry's gonna want to make decisions, and Iris is gonna be like, you were gone for freaking 6 months, Barry. We had to do everything without you, and blah, 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 blah. Like, this team works a lot different now. Like, I don't, like, I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen, and I think it's gonna annoy the hell out of me, because I hated it in Arrow, and we're just gonna see it in Flash, and it's just gonna cause problems, and they're gonna have to talk it out, blah, 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 blah. And I think that's just gonna be a huge issue in season 4. And you also got to remember that Wally's going to have been the Flash for 6 months, so he's going to have problems with Barry coming back more than likely, and it's just going to cause conflict. And don't get me wrong, it more than likely does make for a good story. I just hope it's not focused on a lot. Like, you know, if Flash does have that whole thing where it's like, big dramatic problem, it's okay the next episode, we solved it. I hope they get away from that too, because that was a little too ridiculous in solving everything so quickly. I hope they let things linger for a couple of episodes. But, you know, more than likely they would probably have this drama that I was just talking about, and it'll be a-okay the next episode, which, you know, I mean, I guess since I hate it, it'll be good for once, but usually I like things to linger because, you know, in real life shit doesn't go away that quickly. So Iris will be the leader of Team Flash at the beginning of this season, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some conflicts there, but Barry will more than likely come back and be the leader of this as well. And those are some of the biggest things that have come out of the news so far. Like I said, San Diego Comic-Con is right around the corner. Usually around that time, they drop trailers for all of these shows because all the shows are starting to film now, and they just drop a little, like, tease trailer for season 4 that has to deal with, like, the first episode or two, because they haven't filmed that much, so they're not going to have that footage, but they just do this, like, little sizzle trailer for people to be like, oh my god! So that is more than likely going to happen, and I will definitely be covering that stuff. I'm going to try to take my camera and my laptop to San Diego Comic-Con and try to film that stuff. I'm going to try to be there in those actual panel rooms, so hopefully I'll be able to give you some more inside information if I'm able to go to those. But as of right now, this is the only interesting news that I found is, you know, the Thinker, we already knew, the title of the new episode, and, you know, Iris getting this new role of being a leader in Team Flash. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to make this quick Flash video for you because I know some of you guys were asking about this stuff. If there is any new information that you want me to cover about the Flash, do let me know in the comment sections down below. You can send me stuff on Twitter or Instagram. That way I'll try to cover it. Let's go ahead and get like a little, like, if you guys want me to cover stuff, let's do that. I know I don't really ask that a lot, but I do enjoy when you guys send me stuff because it's a lot easier for me to find that stuff. You know, if you guys send it to me, I will verify sources and, like, give my opinions on it, of course. But if you guys want to send it to me, do that on Twitter. You know, the link's in the description down below to all my social medias. But do give me your thoughts on the information I talked about in the comment sections down below. Also, if you guys ever want to support this channel, you can check out the Patreon like these awesome people did, or you can always do the OG thing and give this video a thumbs up and share with all of your Flash buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I had my daily dose of juice? See you guys next time.